Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we just got a notice a little bit ago about a bunch of things that'll be coming up here in the future. And so I thought we'd just go over it real quick, kind of make a quick video kind of covering everything here. So the very first one here on this announcement is, as you've probably heard from me and other content creators, we are coming up on Make a New Track, or as they have now confirmed, it's going to be called Trackblazer in the global version. So instead of, you're probably going to still see a lot of people use the MANT or MANT for Make a New Track. It just flows very well compared to Trackblazer. I don't know. I mean, a lot of us all converted from calling it a Haru High to Unity Cup. So we'll have to see. I mean, I'll probably end up, after we get used to calling it Trackblazer, that'll probably be what I just do, because I always call a Haru High Unity Cup. But that's what it's going to be called here. So they have confirmed it is coming. And so there is one thing that they mentioned specifically to it on the timeline. It is set to debut in mid-March of 2026. Take note of it saying mid-March, because there's some more information on Aquarius Cup on here and when it's starting. And we are starting to speculate, and we can actually probably just go down to it since I'm mentioning it, because they are mentioning that Aquarius Cup is set to, so they actually give us a date of March 2nd to be when registrations start, and March 6th when the actual races start. And so when you think of mid-March, a lot of people are kind of saying, well, like 10th, or they're saying like 10th through the 20th, like that's kind of your mid-March time frame. You wouldn't go too early for that. And looking at kind of how we have on the estimates for the timeline here, it kind of looks like we might not have as big of an opportunity for rebuilding and make a new track for Aquarius Cup than we originally estimated. Because right now, the estimates for Aquarius Cup was the start March 5th, but now they've confirmed March 2nd. So it is 3 days earlier than originally estimated. The acceleration is pretty massive on this, as we are going to be finishing up Capricorn Cup here on the 18th. And starting the registration for Aquarius on the 2nd. That is less than 2 weeks away. Most of them have been a little over 2 weeks. So this is the quickest we've gone to the next Champions meeting. And starting on the 2nd, so if you see that it moved 3 days, you can take the 15th here and just shift it 3 days forward. So you know it's going to end on the 12th. So Aquarius Cup's finals will end on the 12th. But you know, you cannot rebuild an UMA on the finals day. So you're going to have the 11th, or like 12 hours on the 11th to rebuild if it dropped immediately, like we've seen with new UMAs that drop right before the finals. You'll have 12 hours if it drops on the 11th. But if it drops a little bit earlier, then you'll have like 36 or whatever. But here's the speculation is, they originally estimated March 8th. As being the time frame here, which had a pretty good overlap for having a lot of time to actually rebuild and make a new track. But the words mid-March is kind of giving the indicator more of March 10th or later, which means there's going to be very limited time. It's going to be a last second. You have, maybe they could very well drop it where you have 12 hours to rebuild, or if they push it back 2 days, you won't even get the chance to rebuild. They may have taken into consideration the fact they got feedback, I think, from people on the fact that you could rebuild in Unity Cup for the Leo Championship meeting. And so they may actually have moved it forward specifically to prevent this from happening. And so we'll have to see. But just know you're going to have very limited time regardless, unless mid-March to them means March 8th or something, which we'll have to see. But just know that we may have very limited time to rebuild. And so people like myself who have been kind of being a little lazy on it, thinking, well, I'll have time to rebuild and make a new track. I just need good enough UMAs to make it to the finals. That might not be good enough now. And we're not going to get that official timeline until February, 28th? Yeah, February 28th. They always give it to us the last day of the month. And then you're going to only have basically 6 days to try and build stronger UMAs if you wait until then to like really put in an effort. And so it's kind of convinced me to put a little bit more work into my aces for it, because I don't think Make a New Track will be available for very long. to make new aces. And so maybe I can throw together like a very strong Taiki Shuttle if I have 12 hours left, because she's pretty simple to build. But something like a front runner or somebody that needs a little bit more work and a little bit more gamble on the inspirations might be much, much harder. And so just know that that is kind of weird there. So then we also have the next story event also announced coming up. The Peak of Confection. Now this is the Valentine's one, which funny enough, it is Valentine's Day today. They're almost like we're basically catching up. As you know, we were always a little bit behind. Christmas was after Christmas. Like now we're catching up with the acceleration. So we're having the Valentine's event actually happening fairly close to Valentine's Day. Still a little late, but eventually we're going to get past it, and we're going to be having our events earlier going into the future. So that'll be kind of funny. But this is actually a quite important event potentially. One, Mihono Bourbon Valentine's is dropping, so you're definitely going to pull that. But the support card that comes free with this event, I've talked about this one before, and they don't show it here, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it on here. It's the Tosin Jordan Speed card. Now, this card was not really a good card for the JP players, and that is because its heal is Breath of Fresh Air, which, as you know, is a very gambly one. It can activate too early at the very beginning straight, or it can activate too late on the final straight. But with the second anniversary buff, if we are to get that early, it actually has a new condition added to it that makes it activate in the mid-race all the time. And if we were to get the second anniversary early, that completely shifts the value of this card, especially for free-to-plays, because it is a speed card that does have 5% race bonus, but easy access to Breath of Fresh Air, which is your heal. So you don't have Super Creek for your Swinging Maestro. You have Breath of Fresh Air as your generic strong heal will always work in the mid-race, as long as you pass the wit check, of course. And so this is definitely a must-get, just for the sake of that could be something we potentially get. No confirmation on anything. That's the speculation a lot of people have. I'm not 100% sure. I'm like a 50-50 on it. I actually think they might give us the 1.5 year anniversary stuff early first, which makes more sense to me. But we'll have to see. Just know that this card has that value potentially, and so you definitely don't want to miss it. Then of course we have Mihono Bourbon dropping alongside Asian Flash. Mihono Bourbon, I'll be making a video on this banner. If you like frontrunners in any capacity, or if you want to actually be able to build like the meta for the new type of champions meetings or endgame content League of Heroes, frontrunners are meta there. She's a very, very good pickup just in general. Very easy to build for free to play. Has everything built in. And the fact that you don't have to worry about inspirations for groundwork or her greens or any of that. She has all of that stuff. And Asian Flash is not a bad pickup either. She's another one of those Dominator debuffers for mediums. So if you like Dominator, and yeah, I mean, I already have 3 that have Dominator on her, but hopefully I will pick her up here. She'll be a nice pickup to have. Then we have, of course, the support cards. I've talked about this banner, and I'll be making my dedicated one on it as well. Nishino Flower Wit and Bakshin Guts. She has the gold version of, Determined Descent? So the random acceleration for descents. She's currently the only card that you can get it on also in the JP version, but not a must in any capacity. There's plenty of other wits you're going to want. If you ever want it, it's kind of one of those borrow type cards. Same thing with Guts Bakshin. She's an easy access to groundwork. If you're going to do Guts build and you already have like everything else you need, for like me, for example, I plan to do Guts build, and she has 10% race bonus, pretty decent stat stick, pretty much guaranteed groundwork. I can pair that with like an Ines Fujin and a Majoral Polymer, or her with Ines Fujin, Admire Vega type deal. But that's like a borrow type thing. You're never going to want to actually pulver her because it's more for borrowing only, or unless you're like a Leviathan. So that'll be an easy skip, but they are notable there. And then they also bring up the first anniversary celebration sneak peek here, starting in early March, kicking off first anniversary. I mean, first anniversary basically is the start of Making You Track. At this point in the Japanese version, it was 6 months per scenario. And so new scenarios would start with the anniversary. So you get all those polls alongside like the scenario banner that usually has really good stuff to come with it. Now the NTR banner for most, I'm going to say, is going to be an easier skip. But we'll be getting a lot of goodies there, and we'll be getting a lot of free polls. Legend races coming up, of course. Who are the ones on this one? Did they not specifically mention it? I mean, they'll be on the calendar here, wherever I put it. I've got way too many things open. So the legend races that'll be dropping. It looks like it's going to be Hishi, Amazon, Major Dolber, and Gold City. So those that have them. Then Aquarius Cup. We've already talked about a little bit at the beginning here. Aquarius Cup dropping on March 2nd. So this is going to be the quickest one coming right after another. I know a lot of people, myself included, already worked on Aquarius Cup just because of the simple fact sprints are probably the easiest to build for, in the sense just high speed, high power, high wit, or max speed, as high as power and wit as you can get, and then a bunch of those gamble skills, and then you're just good to go. It's a giant gamble to a certain extent. And so a lot of people finished that early and are already working at Aquarius Cup. And yeah, you're going to have very limited time. Our very first Dirt Champions meeting coming very quick. And then G1 race commemoration coming soon, March 3rd. Holding a G1 celebrate February stakes. Limited time missions, free monies, artwork, official X account, bonus star pieces available in career races. So we've already kind of had this event. We see these events all the time. So just more of that, like a little mini event to get some extra stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And we'll just have to kind of see. But they may have, like I said at the beginning, they may have taken into consideration that people did not like the new scenario overlapping with the Champions meeting. So that might be the one period where they're going to accelerate the Champions meetings and slightly push back the new scenario, just so we don't have that problem. And Tika, thanks for the follow. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this video, and I'll have a lot more coming, especially on Making You Track. I am working on building a video kind of showcasing that, alongside a lot of other stuff in the Japanese version. It's just going to take some time to get those videos out, but I will be having them coming here very, very soon. But if you want, I've been doing Making You Track runs here every so often now that I'm on the JP version, if you want to join the stream. But that'll be it for now, and if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps, and thanks for watching.